In this video we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Brooks Glycerin 22 that's had some major changes. But have those changes made the shoe better or worse? So in this video I'm going to tell you. Hello everybody and welcome to FORDY Runs. My name is Chris Ford and I'm a running coach who loves to make YouTube videos about running shoes, running content in general. And in today's video, like I promised you at the start, we're going to be finding out if the new Brooks Glycerin 22 is any good or not. Okay team, so how this video is going to work, I'm going to tell you what's new with the Brooks Glycerin 22. We're going to look at some of the new key features like this new midsole. We're going to talk briefly about how I've used it. I'm going to tell you how it compares against some of its closest rivals. I'm also going to let you know where this would fit in terms of a rotation. And then I'm going to wrap it all up at the end and tell you whether the changes made to the Glycerin 22 make this an appealing shoe to buy. Okay team, so before we do that, we've got a couple of things to do. Now I've already told you I need you to subscribe, so let's not worry about that. What I need you to do now is watch this disclaimer, because Brooks were kind enough to send me this shoe nice and early, so watch this disclaimer now just to cover my arse. And then the last thing before we move on, I need to know in the comments whether you are a Glycerin wearer and what do you think about how this new shoe looks. Okay, I've got a bit of an apology to make. I've not cleaned these since my last run, so they're a bit mucky and they're a bit dirty, so my bad. But anyway, let's crack on with the stats and features. So the Brooks Glycerin 22 is a sort of plush daily trainer. It's going to be £165, comes out in Jan 25. We've got a weight of 322 grams. We've got the new DNA tuned midsole, and I'll come on to that in just a bit. We've got a double jacquard mesh upper on the shoe, which is a little bit warmer. 38 stack in the heel down to 28, so we've got a 10mm drop. The shoe fits true to size, and we've got a brand new sort of, well, they call it a silhouette, and I'll come on to that as well. Okay team, so let's have a closer look. Okay, so this shoe features the DNA tuned like the Glycerin Max. Now the DNA tuned is this like cell technology. We've got these larger cells that go around the sort of edge of the shoe, and they're there to provide like a nice cushioned soft landing. And then in the middle of the shoe, I don't know if you can see it, it's like a light yellow color. You've got these smaller cells which are there to help with like propulsion. So they run through the heel to the toe, and as you get down to the toe, that's meant to aid that sort of bounce off the toe as you go through your stride. And like I said, it's the same cell or double cell technology that we've got on the Glycerin Max. Now this is a lot softer and a different sensation to what was in the DNA Loft in the previous version of the shoe. So this is a total game changer putting this on the Glycerin. So here's the new upper, this double jacquard mesh upper on the shoe. Now in terms of the silhouette, what I mean is the design of the shoe. You'll see there's like a heel tab stuck on the back. They've increased, I think, the amount of foam in the heel as well, but you've got like this rim that goes around the heel area, and as I say, the design of it, or the silhouette, has changed completely versus the previous version. There's the outsole, which provides plenty of grip. It's absolutely fine. As you can see, I've been wearing these in awful conditions and it's been just fine. The lacing, the lockdown, no problem. It locks down very well. The lacing's good actually on this Brooks. It works well with the tongue to provide a nice plush, comfortable step-in feel with the shoe, and then you get a nice lockdown. And that's probably about it in terms of taking a closer look at the shoe. Okay, so in terms of how I've used it, I've done 23, 24 miles in the shoe so far, and they've been very enjoyable miles. It's a totally different feel, a totally different ride to the previous model. I can't emphasize enough how much better the ride is in this shoe versus the previous model. It's actually transformed the shoe, to be honest. The miles that I've done in the shoe have all been relatively easy. I think I may have done one run that was sort of more towards 8-minute miles, but in general everything's between like 8:30 and 9-minute miles, which is like my easy pace, which if you're in kilometers is, I suppose, what, 5:30? Anyway, so the ride's good. Like I said, the outsole's been absolutely fine in the rain and the horrible stuff that we've had over here in the UK. So this is like a plush daily trainer. I want you to think like a 1080 version 14, or the Saucony Triumph, for example. And that's what this shoe goes up against. It can be that long run cruiser, but it can also do those daily miles. Now in terms of a rotation, this would be a good shoe if you're like half marathon training, I would say. You can put some of those 10, 12, 14 mile runs you may do in your half marathon training, and then you can do some of your easy work in the week. You may then want to slot in like a Hyperion Max 2 from Brooks, which is a super trainer, which you can do some more of that tempo workout and maybe some of those faster, longer runs as well. This shoe would work well with the Hyperion Max 2. Okay, so let's move on to the things I like and things I don't like about this shoe. I like DNA tuned. I like this outsole. I like this pull tab. I like the laces. I like the comfort. I like the fit, and I like the feel. Things I don't like. I'm not overly fussed the way it looks. I think it's gone sort of back a step in terms of the direction that Brooks have been going and the way their shoes look. I don't like the weight, and I'm not overly fussed about this upper because it's quite warm. Despite being cold, it's quite warm, and that's it. Now I do appreciate with the weight, there's some of these higher stacked, more cushion, plusher, more comfort driven shoes are heavier. I get that, but for me it is a little bit too heavy for a daily trainer. And if I was happy to give up some weight in a shoe, I'd have these. And that brings me on to my conclusion. This is a massive update for the shoe. I think this DNA tuned in here works extremely well. It's transformed the shoe in terms of the ride. I think this will work well for people who like the existing Glycerin, but you'll be able to take it, say, into some of those runs and you'll feel a little bit more propulsion, but also a little bit softer when you want to ease off into the pace. It makes it more versatile, which I think is a good thing. Comfort remains, which is great. Price remains, which is good. And you guys who love to buy your Brooks will be happy that it still remains similar in terms of a Brooks looking Glycerin. But for me personally, I'd rather have the Glycerin Max. I really like this shoe. I like the amount of DNA tune that I'm getting in this shoe. I like the outsole. I love the way it looks. And for me, if I want to go easy on a long run, I much prefer to be in this. Now, there's nothing wrong with this shoe, and it's very, very versatile. And it's actually been made more versatile with the DNA tuned midsole. But on a personal level, I just prefer the Glycerin Max. And I know it's more expensive, but I just think this is probably a better shout because I'd rather have this and then mix in some of the other shoes, maybe from Brooks, like I said, a Hyperion Max or even just a Hyperion. I think this works well with those. So there's nothing wrong with the Glycerin 22. In fact, it's a very, very good upgrade. And I'm intrigued to see how tuned finds its way into other shoes like the Ghost and stuff like that. But I'm just a sucker for the Glycerin Max, and that's probably my problem, not yours. So there we go, people. I'm a big fan of the Glycerin Max. I really do like the addition of DNA tuned to the Glycerin 22. And like I said, if you're a big fan of Glycerin, you're gonna love what they've done here. But my heart still stays with the Max shoe. Okay, team, so there we go. Let me know in the comments, are you gonna be grabbing the Glycerin 22? I do think it is a good shoe in terms of an update. I think it's worth looking at if you're a big fan of the Glycerin series. But yes, thanks very much to everybody who's watched this video. Thank you very much to everybody who's hit that subscribe button during this video as well, and I shall catch you guys later.